Welcome to Outside the Vault. I'm Ben,
And I'm Zachary.
and we're here to talk about Zachary's top 25 favorite movies that he just came up with. So
And
don't know.
I just had to copy Ben from last time.
I don't know what order he's saying these in.
So I don't actually have. I was talking with Caleb earlier, and he doesn't have a favorite movie, and I kind of agree. Like, I don't have an exact favorite movie. I have a list of movies. So here are my top 25 movies in no particular order.
Okay.
I like them more than each other, but I can't rank them. I just can't.
All right. Yeah, I think that I had a ranked one because that's just how I am as a person. But I understand people who are like, you can't like
Ben needs
define
answers.
what your favorite thing is, and I understand that. I just have to decide. Even if like Inglourious Basterds isn't maybe at every moment my favorite movie, I'm like more of the time it is than it's not. So that's why. Anyway, Zach, take it away.
Well, as all my friends know me, I'm a very big Marvel Cinematic Universe fan. But
No,
on this
not
list,
Zach.
I restricted myself to 3, okay? Only
Okay.
3 MCU movies. The first one is obvious. Everybody's favorite, Captain America, The Winter Soldier.
Yes, such a good one.
This
Such a good
movie
one.
I love because it's like it's very tense. The whole movie's very tense. And it takes this like really cheesy soldier guy that was in the first movie. And he was
Yeah.
still good and moral. And then he was in the Avengers and he's like a cheesy leader, just like always doing the right thing. Takes him, puts him in he's a very black and white guy, and they put him in a movie where there's a lot of gray area. Like there's not good or bad. Everybody's got different motives. And they see what he does in that. And he tries his best to do what he can. But then he realizes that the government that he once fought for isn't as great as he thought, and that there are spies and there are people that lie and lots of deception and different sides to everything. So it's basically taking a pretty simplistic guy and putting him into a complex world, forcing him to grow. So I really like that movie.
It's a good one.
Second is a Netflix original, El Camino,
Ooh.
which is the Breaking Bad movie, which I recently just rewatched. I really like this movie because not only I'm not going to spoil Breaking Bad for anyone who hasn't seen it. It's a mild spoiler. Not really. It's just at the end of the movie, it gives closure for certain characters. Certain characters, events happen to them. I'm not going to be specific, and it doesn't really give closure. It all just kind of goes fast paced. Like Breaking Bad starts out slow, gets really fast, and then it exponentially gets really crazy near the end of the movie or the show. And then at the end, it's just like huge, like big things happen in the last couple episodes. And then it just kind of leaves it there. And you're just like, I get what happened, but like, I've grown with these characters for a long time. And then the movie El Camino gives you time to like think about what happened, and it's the after effects. And it's like, what are the characters that are left? What do they do? You know?
Yeah, and Breaking Bad, I just started watching it, and I can't wait to get to the point where I'm like, I want to watch El Camino.
Good thing I didn't spoil it, because I was about to. Good thing
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay. My third one is Good Will Hunting.
Oh, another one that was on both of our lists.
That was on your list?
Was it?
I don't know. I don't remember it.
No, it was. It was.
Okay. Anyway, I really liked this movie. Oh yeah, it was because we talked about Mr. Rooter. He told me about that movie, and I really like it because we talked about Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. They did a really good job, and it's different sides of a kid. You know, like he's super smart. Should he pursue the academic field, or should he find a wife and settle down and stuff? It's way more complicated than that. But that's just to sum it up. And then also there's an aspect of like his friendships, or like his like brother friendships, where Ben Affleck's character says, "One day I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna knock and you're not gonna be there, and I'm gonna be happy," or he says something along the
Yeah,
lines.
because he thinks that he can achieve more in life than just to work like the rest of them are going to.
Yeah, and I really like that because at the end that's exactly what happens. So
Yeah, spoiler alert. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, it's an old movie.
It's an old movie, yes. It's
Um,
a good one. Very
Next is, a lot of people might be mad, but Toy Story 4.
good. Oh, wow, an interesting one. This was
So-
an interesting pick.
I think with each Toy Story, the themes get more mature.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So I like mature Pixar movies, I guess.
Yeah.
So I really like the first one. Second one is really good too. Third one is really good too. But then the fourth one takes the first 3 movies and kind of puts them together because Bo Peep wasn't in the third one. And they were at the end of the third one. They kind of just move on from Andy and go to Bonnie. But then it's like, what happens with Bonnie? And it's like El Camino. It's more closure for the characters, and it really is a goodbye for. I won't spoil it, but for some characters and stuff like that.
See, the thing about it that surprised me was I was thinking, when I heard that they were going to make Toy Story 4, I was like, oh no. Because I thought Toy Story 3 was the best ending ever. And this was like 6 or 7 or 8 years even. I can't remember when it came
Probably
out.
like 6 or 7.
After Toy Story 3, and I was like, but they had the perfect ending. But they really had a better ending in Toy Story 4.
Yeah, that's
Even
the
though
same thing with
I
Breaking
prefer
Bad.
3, but
The Breaking
4
Bad
is
had
amazing.
Breaking Bad had a perfect ending, but then the movie like made the ending even better
Yeah.
somehow.
So when you can do that, because I think I've seen movies that don't do that, and I'm like, oh, this is terrible.
But the Breaking Bad movie came out a year ago this month.
Yeah.
So that was way new. Like it came out 6 years after the show ended or something like that. 6
Yeah.
or 8 years.
And sometimes like they need it because the fans want it so bad. But
Yeah, and to make money obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, this is taking forever. Next is Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, I've heard. I know that you like this movie.
This is a Wes Anderson movie that is just kooky and weird. There's another Wes
Not
Anderson
Wes
movie on
Anderson. He would never do that.
this. But it's not claymation, but it's real live action. It's Flash Thompson from the Spider-Man movies.
Mm-hmm.
He plays the main character Zero, and it's the relationship between Zero and this concierge guy at a hotel as they go on these adventures, and it's just how they trust each other and become friends, and that's basically the whole movie.
I want to watch this one.
And
I just watched.
It's really interesting and creative and just different, and I like that. It really stuck out. It's not like amazing, like I'm telling critics to watch and everything. I just think it's different. And I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Next is 1917.
Ooh.
I really enjoyed how they made this movie, watching it all in one take. And I get it, like they put objects in front of the camera on purpose because they're probably doing different takes. And then there is one part where he gets blown up in the tower and he falls back and falls asleep and wakes up. So it's not actually one take, but it's like they do probably like 40 minutes of takes. Like they have like 20-minute segments of scenes that they just have the camera
Even the
on
fact
guys.
that it looks like it's one take
Mhm.
makes it, or 2 takes, I guess, because there is one fade to black. in
Because
the
then you're in real time with the characters and
Right.
you're knowing exactly what's happening the whole time.
Even though they're like tricking you the whole time because it takes longer than 2 hours, the movie,
Uh-huh.
but it feels like it doesn't. Like,
Yeah,
I know they went like he fell asleep at one point, or they.
but that
did
was the
things.
only part, I think.
Yeah.
So-
But so they somehow trick your mind into thinking that you've actually experienced real time with the
Mhm.
characters, and it's amazing.
And that just came out last year, right?
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that.
Would have been 2019, but yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
it's
much last year.
technically 2 years. Yeah. Next, this one's a sentimental one. Maybe not the best in plot or anything. The Simpsons movie.
Oh.
I really enjoyed this movie because I've seen it so many times. I could quote it from back to front. Yeah, I love The Simpsons. It's my favorite show. I probably said that. And this movie was actually not that bad. It was really good, like I think. And like even as a movie by itself, it teaches a lot of lessons, and it takes these funny characters and gives them like an actual serious storyline, you know?
Versus like their normal episodic format.
And they have serious episodes and stuff, like occasionally. But normally it's just like telling jokes and doing funny things. But this goes deeper and explores like what happens if those relationships aren't there, you know?
Yeah.
So
That's an interesting one.
Yep.
I've been meaning to start watching The Simpsons, but
Yeah,
I
good
haven't
luck.
quite started.
Anna just started. She's on like season 8, but there's like 30,
Season 8.
there's like 32 seasons. So
I know.
Good luck.
I mean, by start I meant like sort of just watch a few
some of
episodes.
it
Yeah.
recreationally.
Yeah.
All right. Next episode or next movie is Star Wars Episode 4.
Episode 4, the original, the
Mhm.
classic Star Wars.
I just think, like you said, we've talked about it before. Like I just think it was so different. Like imagine, I wish I was living and I could see it in theaters because
Yeah.
back then it was in the 70s, like at the late 70s, this came out, and you watch it. I don't know if it was late or I forget.
It was like 1976, I want to say.
Okay, well
But-
look it up for sure so we don't sound like stupid millennials or stupid Gen Zs. But
1977, I was so close.
okay, and yeah, so I'm just imagining this movie coming out and like it takes place in space and there's these lasers and like big action sequences and spaceships like first never seen before on. It's just very creative, and the ways that they did it was really cool, and the story is cool. I get it. It's like a generic storyline, but it's like a classic. It's like the first time it came out like that, and I guess I'm giving it sentiment when I wasn't alive, but it's cool to know that it was like that, you know, and it gives it more
Yeah.
meaning. So
Yeah.
next up is my second Marvel movie, Infinity War.
Oh, of course.
This
yeah.
is actually probably my favorite Marvel movie. I think the build up to this movie was insane. Biggest build up I've ever
Crazy.
seen, like ever. And the payoff in this movie was really good because it just makes it more. Like the build up in all the movies was great, like all the hints and stuff. But then having this movie and having everyone meet each other and come together made the tension even more, like, higher. And so, yeah. And then the snap. That was cool. I mean, I get it. It's a cop-out, but it was cool.
Right. No, I think this movie was so good that it made it impossible for Endgame to be good. Endgame was good, but, like, and Endgame was everything that it needed to be.
Well, here's the thing. Endgame...
But Infinity War was just such a huge moment that it was hard to top.
Endgame is the moment that we've been waiting for since the MCU started, right? We've been waiting for that big Avengers Assemble scene, right? They've always hinted at it. But Infinity War brought the tension so high and so, like, intense.
And Thanos was such an interesting character.
That it actually, like, made it higher than what we expected in that
Thanos
moment.
was the best villain in Marvel, I think.
I agree.
Loki, maybe.
I mean, Loki's getting there. We'll see if the show...
Well, Loki is more of a, like, is he a villain, is he not a villain type character.
I'm going to be honest. Loki's my, like, second or third favorite character, so he's pretty awesome.
Loki's probably my favorite character, but I think Thanos is the best villain.
It goes Captain America, Doctor Strange, Loki.
Interesting.
Yep.
I
know Doctor Strange probably isn't that deep, but I just like him.
He's a great character. Yeah. He's like... Some people would probably be like, oh, he's just like Tony Stark, except for a doctor. But, like, I think he's...
And we'll figure it out. He's got a lot on his plate. He's going to have to deal with the multiverse soon.
He's sort of now taking over in a way, for Tony Stark, although...
He'll be the one in the background controlling everything.
Yeah. He might not handle it exactly.
And I find that interesting.
Tony Stark is. Yeah.
Anyway, next is... Ben, you introduced this to me. My Life as a Zucchini.
Oh, yes. This is a good one.
I really liked this movie. Once again, it's about adoption and... just the kid in an orphanage who accidentally kills his mom. It's claymation, but it does hit all the right notes. And it's like a dismal movie, but it's about these kids that are like, but it's also really depressing, but then it's also happy.
Yeah. It brings you through all of the emotions.
Yeah. It shows the whole process of going into an orphanage and then adoption, whether or not which characters get adopted. I'm not going to specify.
And it's hard not to like Nick Offerman in anything.
Yeah, but he's only in the English version, so like the original version.
Yeah,
is French,
I know.
So
I guess if you're like, you have to watch it in the original French, then that can't be a reason you like it. But it's still an amazing movie.
So the next movie I have is actually one that you've probably never heard me talk about. It's called Searching.
No, I've never heard you talk about it.
Okay, so this movie is probably in my top 5. It's really good. It's
I've heard of this movie.
It takes place from a computer screen.
Yes.
The whole movie takes place from a computer screen. And it's emails, text messages, calls, everything. This guy is trying to find his daughter. His daughter goes missing. And it's insane. Everything is so insane. So many twists and turns. And it was like a film festival type of movie, so it wasn't like made by a big production company. So it didn't get its name out there that far. But I am so surprised that that nobody knows about.
It was I've definitely heard of this movie, and I've heard of like how crazy it was to make. They also made it on an $880,000 budget, so it was really cheap to make. But
there's only like 4 characters.
It was very well received. It also grossed $26 million eventually. So,
but this movie, I swear, like I keep my promises. I promise, Ben, you will love this movie.
I know. I need to watch it.
Okay. Next up is Saw.
Wow, Saw made the list.
Shout out to Zach Burleson. Him and I go way back, and we watched this movie a couple of years ago.
The Zach and Zach duo.
Yeah, we're Z Squared. And we watched this movie a couple of years ago at a sleepover, and it was like, what is this movie? And she's like, you gotta watch it. It's a big twist at the end. There was. I'm not gonna spoil it. It was a cool twist.
It's a good twist.
And then we're like, you know what? Let's just watch the second one. So we bought all 8 movies on Blu-ray in like a package set, and we watched them. We watched one every weekend for like 8 weekends. It was awesome. I loved it, and I think the sentiment part of it is why it's on my list. It's probably not the greatest movie.
I've heard the first one. I have watched the first one, and I watched it by myself, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And I actually think I wouldn't rank it as high as Zach maybe, but I think there's a lot more to this movie than people give it credit for.
Yeah, based on the budget and the actors.
They're just like, oh, Saw is just like a torture movie. Like, it's not worth your time. And maybe the later ones are, although I've heard that it's kind of funny to see how they all connect and they keep adding things to
yeah, like they're like the events that happened in the first one, like they're like, oh, in the background, these characters were actually there.
Yeah.
Oh, this actually happened. This is why it was set up.
I watched a whole YouTube video that explained it, so I didn't have to watch them, and it was really complicated. And
Yep.
they kept just like being like, "You remember this random side character you thought wasn't important? Actually, that person was super important."
But it's funny because they actually set up for it. Like,
Yeah.
they don't just do it like, oh, this actually happened when it wasn't, like, set up for it.
well, I think the original movie they didn't. But
No, not
after
the
that-
original, but, like, after that, like, they show, like, weird things that happen in the
Yeah.
background. In the movie, you're like, what is that? And then in the next movie, it explains what
Because
it
you know
was.
who directed the original one was James Wan.
Which he directed Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman and Insidious, I think, was
Yeah.
his other big one.
Insidious?
Insidious.
Yeah.
Sorry, why did I call it Insidious?
I don't
It's
know.
one of those things where you pronounce it only to yourself, and then you realize that you've been pronouncing it wrong the whole time.
Yeah, like Benjamin. Who's
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Who's that? No,
Alright,
but
yeah.
I started writing a paper on it once just for fun because I was like, there's so many moral things to this movie.
That, I did not know that. Cool. All right, next is Up.
Oh yes, we reviewed this one. on the
Mr.
podcast.
Fredrickson. We reviewed this, so go to our Up podcast if you want to listen to it. And yeah, it's just a great Pixar movie. And next,
I think it gets better as you get older too.
That's true, because with age, the lessons that are learned are more important. Next up is Creed.
Oh, okay.
I actually, forgive me, baby boomers, I actually like Creed better than Rocky. I
Interesting,
think
'cause
it's
Rocky was on my list.
I think it's
Creed's
more
on Zach's.
intense. I think it's more intense.
Yeah.
Obviously, Rocky's a classic. It's like Star Wars. Like, there's a lot of good meaning based on the experience of the first time.
This is like me liking the new Star Wars movies better than the old ones.
But Ben, nobody agrees with you on that. Like, not even a single
That's not
person.
true.
Some
I
people
listen
might
to-
agree with me.
I listen to people who agree with me on
Oh my
other
gosh.
podcasts, and they are right. They
Star
think
Wars is
it's
more
good.
controversial, though.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like politics.
Well, because Rocky is kind of like not as serious of a.
Yeah.
Well, it is. It's pretty long, and they're making Creed 3 at this point.
I'm excited. Creed 2 is amazing. I loved it.
I didn't watch Creed 2 yet, but I need to.
But I love Creed. I
Creed's
love
good.
Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger. He's so good. Yeah. All
and
right.
he's directing the third one. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah, he's actually directing it.
Hmm.
So that'll be interesting. Because Ryan Coogler directed Creed, and then he directed Black Panther.
Yeah.
And
Which
Black
also
Panther
had
2.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
So,
So there's a relationship there.
huh. I
And
did not know that.
I know Ryan Coogler's done other stuff. I'm glad he's doing Black Panther 2, but I really want him to go back to doing other stuff at some point and
Yeah.
not just get stuck in doing Marvel movies, because Marvel movies are good opportunities for directors, I understand, and they're good for your career, but I think you can get stuck doing them and for a certain time, and it's like sometimes it's like, oh, I wish they got back to doing something
Yeah.
like more
Kind of like Taika
independent.
Waititi, but
Yeah.
he's got stuff in between.
Yeah.
I wish James Gunn would
And now
do
the
another
Russo
movie.
brothers are doing a new movie called Cherry with
Seriously?
Tom Holland.
Okay.
Yeah, and it looks like it might be pretty interesting. So
Tom
now-
Holland's in so much now.
Yeah, he's one of the.
He was in the Devil.
I would say the
played
devil all the time.
yeah.
Him and Robert Pattinson seem to be like the people who are like showing up in like everything.
Yeah.
These days.
He's in the new Uncharted movie,
Yeah.
like video game, and then Tom Holland's in another trailer that I saw. So he's just in a lot now, and he's gonna be in like a million Spider-Man movies.
Yes.
So,
He will be.
and he's young. He's like what, 23 or something like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah, he has a lot of potential. It'll be interesting. This is definitely taking advantage of the opportunities he's getting.
yeah, good for him. It's like Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Every movie you can be in, just be in it.
Is that what he does?
Samuel, I mean, not
Samuel
now.
L. Jackson is like legitimately a really good actor.
Not now, but he's in Star Wars. He's in Marvel.
But you're
like
right.
before
he's in,
anyone
like-
else was.
You know, I'm pretty sure he's the highest grossing actor. Like,
Probably.
If you combine how much his movies have made, he's made the most. And he's had so many, like, legendary performances.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they actually drew the comic for him as Nick Fury before he even played Nick Fury in the
Yeah.
movies. It's kind of crazy how, like, Samuel L. Jackson.
They knew he would get it. Okay, next up is The Lion King.
Oh, that's a good one.
I really like this movie. A Wimble Up. That's all.
Oh, Wimbo.
I mean, that's really all I have to say. Everybody's seen The Lion King, and they know
It's such a, yeah, it's so good.
I also think it has good ties to the gospel. I think it does.
That's an interesting connection.
Yeah,
But yeah.
it's interesting.
So the
Mufasa.
sacrificial.
And Childish
sacrifice.
Gambino does. No, I'm talking about the animated. Is my favorite.
You're not talking about that.
No, not the new one. But Childish
new one is
Gambino
also
kills it in the
animated.
new one. I love the new one.
Okay,
It's
you
kinda
love
weird.
the new one?
It's kinda
'Cause I
weird.
always complain about them doing live action, or quote unquote live action. Because it's not even like a live action, it's just more realistic.
Lady and the Tramp
animation.
was kind of weird with the live action.
Oh, yeah. I try to avoid watching. I mean, I know.
Beauty and the Beast was okay.
I've heard the Aladdin one is good.
The Aladdin one's good, yeah.
So, and
I don't
love
have
the
a
old
problem
one.
with it. I mean, because it can't beat. Everybody knows it can't beat the originals.
Yeah.
So it's just like go with it. You know, it's kind of cool
Yeah.
to see it in live
Tim
action.
Burton did the Dumbo one
Yeah.
with
Yep.
Danny DeVito.
Yep. All right. Next is the Polar Express.
Oh wow! I didn't realize that. Like when you said that Kenzie didn't like this new, we wanted to do this one originally with Kenzie, but it started to be after Christmas time.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you liked it so much.
Oh yeah. This is a sentimental one to me because I've watched it every year since I was really little, and I just loved it. Tom Hanks, nameless kid. There's literally it's the There's the conductor. There's
I
the
didn't
nameless
realize-
kid,
I haven't watched this
nameless
in a long
girl,
time.
and Billy. There's only a few named characters in this whole movie. Like they don't name the main character.
And they wanted, so they did motion capture for this movie, and my brother told me that they wanted Tom Holland. The director was like, Tom Holland should act all of the motion capture characters. So like when they animated, they like actually had people walking and doing stuff, but he couldn't do that, so he only motion captured.
Wait, what?
So the way they animated the movie is with motion capture. So
Yeah.
and they wanted Tom Hanks to play all of the
Oh,
characters.
you said Tom Holland.
Sorry, did I say Tom Holland?
Yeah, I was
Sorry,
like,
Tom
wait,
Hanks.
what?
No, but he couldn't do that, so he only did 5 of the characters.
Yeah, he did like the hobo, the conductor. Who else?
Santa probably.
Oh yeah, he did Santa. I don't know.
I don't know who
Other
else.
people. Anyway, next up is To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh wow, a classic old one.
Yeah, and I read the book in my sophomore year in high school, and then we watched the movie that year, and I just loved it. It was really my freshman year of high school. That was so long ago, and I really loved it. Atticus, Jem, Scout. I mean, just great characters, great deep meanings, and it's just like brings up a lot of good questions. And it's not like an intense movie. It's just like, what's going on? Like, how do we learn from this? Do we look to our father? Do we look to our neighbor? What do we do? You know.
Yeah,
So
definitely a book and a movie that I need to watch.
Yeah.
A book that I need to read.
yeah, you need. No, it's okay. You can watch it. It's okay. Next up, Kingsman.
Oh yes.
This one's
Another
just.
movie
I
I've
liked it
watched.
because it was cool. Like a lot of
Yeah.
cool death scenes, and it's just cool.
Yeah.
That's it. I watched this with my buddy Chris, like a long time ago, maybe 8th or 9th grade, and we just loved it. So we saw it in theaters. The second one was okay. I liked it, but anyway. Next up is Now You See Me.
Oh, this is the magic one.
Yeah, I like. What's the guy's name? Eisner? Not Eisner.
Elgort.
No, what's the guy's name? The main character. He plays Lex Luthor in the DCEU. I can't remember his name. It's anyway. I like him. He's
Kevin
okay.
Spacey.
No, definitely
I
not.
thought he played Lex Luthor though.
No,
I mean, we don't
maybe-
like Kevin Spacey.
No, what's his name? I don't know. He plays the new Lex Luthor.
Woody Harrelson.
No, what?
Dave
No.
Franco.
No.
I'm just reading who's. Mark Ruffalo is in this movie. Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. That's who it is.
Oh
Yeah.
really?
Yep.
He plays Lex Luthor. You know he plays. I just watched him in The Squid and the Whale, and I watched him in The Social Network where he plays
Yep, he's in
Mark
The Social-
Zuckerberg.
Yep. So yeah, so Jesse Eisenberg, I like him in this movie, and it's just a cool magic movie where it's like a heist and they're doing magic. And that one, once again, I watched with Chris when I was younger, so that one's just sentimental too.
I feel like we need to watch The Prestige because that's also like a magic movie.
Yeah.
Seems like you'd like it.
Yeah, we'll watch it and then we'll watch Searching. Okay, next is, thank you, Ben, Donnie Darko.
Oh yes.
I love Donnie Darko.
That's like a
So
favorite
interesting.
movie. It's such
It's just
So
such a
you
weird
have to
movie.
listen to our, like, this is one that we will just gush about. I don't know, it just has that
It's
thing
dark
about it.
and it's funny and it's creative and it's like, it may not make sense the whole time, but it's like, it has a lore that we kind of get drawn
Yeah.
into, you know?
And the director's cut is actually worse. It's
Yeah,
not
the
better.
director's cut, the music isn't as great. And they
You
had
realize that
cut
if you
scenes.
know more things, it actually makes it not as good. Like, it's better to know less.
Yeah, maybe. You gotta leave some to the mystery, you know?
Yeah.
Imagination. Okay, next is the second Wes Anderson movie, Isle of Dogs.
Oh, I have not seen this.
I like it. It's chill. I think Bryan Cranston's in this, so is Walter
Oh,
White.
yeah.
And yeah, it's just a bunch of dogs trying to find a home, and it's about this lonely dog, and it goes through all the different dog
It's claymation,
stories. It is, yep. And,
Like Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is the Wes Anderson movie that I've seen.
Yep, exactly. And yeah, so it gives, it's dogs, so I mean it's funny. There's
Yeah.
a couple jokes, but it's like this owner is trying to find his dog. He doesn't speak any English, so The owner doesn't. So then this dog, all the dogs speak English, and they, try to help this dog find his owner and stuff. Next up is The Fast and the Furious.
A classic.
I said the first one because I'm kind of talking about it as a whole franchise, which I guess is kind of a cop-out.
I want to watch this franchise so bad. I've only seen Hobbs and Shaw.
It's so cheesy and weird.
And the only reason that I've seen Hobbs and Shaw and not the other ones is because I didn't want to. I'm the person who wants to start it from the start, so I can't go watch like Fast 8 in theaters, you know?
Yeah, Fast 9 coming out soon, I think.
Yeah. This is really fascinating franchise because
Fast
I think then correct me if I'm wrong, but it starts out as like a racing movie.
Yep. Okay, I will tell you. It starts off as a racing movie. The second one is about like drug dealers and stuff and catching, like they help the cops out and race to catch these drug dealers. Then like the third, fourth, and fifth, it gets into like spies and they recruit more people, get teams, and there's these bad guys that are trying to kill them, and it goes with the mafia and cartel and stuff like that. And then like in the next movies, it's like international business where like the government gets involved, and then like these secret giant agencies, and then like super villains. And then in the latest one, they're like, The Rock is like driving a tank on ice while there's like a giant boat, and he's like holding a helicopter down, and like it's like,
so basically what started out as like your average car movie turned into like James Bond
on crack.
On crack.
Like, and like there's ridiculous. A scene where Vin Diesel is driving a nice, like it's still cars, like they still use a lot of cars.
Yeah.
He's driving a car on top of like skyscrapers. Like he's going through the windows on skyscrapers and just going through all the windows.
I watched Hobbs and Shaw, and that was actually a pretty decent movie.
It's like a spy movie.
But the stakes were so high.
Yep, the whole world is gonna die.
You're like, how did this happen? But it's also sort of fun to watch.
The first movie is about like whether or not he wins a race, and maybe there's a few guns involved, but that's it. Like,
Yeah. So. It's crazy. It's one of the more like, but I'm happy that it exists.
It's just like, how big can we get? Can we just keep making the next movies bigger? Like, next one's gonna be they go to space.
I will be sad because I know at some point, I don't know when, but they'll be like, we're not making Fast and Furious anymore. But they will still be making Hobbs and Shaw at that point. So they won't be done with it. But it'll be kind of sad when there's no Fast and Furious.
Fast 10, they should be like international. Like they should have like spaceships and like driving cars through spaceships.
Oh, that would be so amazing.
Okay, next is Monsters Inc.
Oh, great one.
I love it. Mike Wazowski, Sully, the kid. All of them, Mr. Sullivan, and then Mr. Sullivan is him, and I'm thinking of Mr. Waternoose. I liked him.
Who's the Randall?
Randall's awesome.
One of my favorite actors, Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, and then Sylvia. What's that lady's name? I'm always watching.
Oh, what's her name?
I forget. Yeah. It's I don't know.
Liz, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. And it's just a good story, good movie. It's really interesting concept. Like, who would have thought? Like, let's make a movie about the monsters in their closets, and let's make all the closets like expendable, and like let's make a whole monster society and a whole monster universe.
Roz is her
Roz, yeah. There's a Z, I knew. And let's make a whole monster universe where their jobs, they go to work and they.
But they're actually scared of children.
Yeah, they're actually scared of children, and they need to get screams from humans, and that's like it explains why kids like think that there's monsters in the closets.
This is why Pixar is good, because they think about things that nobody else would think of.
Yeah, like let's create a society where screams are like the currency or like the resource or energy.
Yeah, it's like energy. Yeah,
and they they just go with it, and it really worked, and they're making a third one, Monsters at Work. After Monsters University. Yeah, Monsters University is the prequel. I don't know if Monsters at Work is another prequel or a sequel. I hope it's kind of a sequel, because I liked University a lot.
No, it's a series.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So it's probably going to be different characters then.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, it'll probably be different characters.
Okay.
But it will be interesting nonetheless.
Wow. Okay, there's two more. My last Marvel movie, Endgame.
Oh, of course.
I just had to say that. We already talked about it.
It's good.
Yep, it's just amazing and everything.
And maybe not as good as Infinity War, in my opinion.
Yeah, same. I agree. It's just like that ending moment where there's that huge battle. Like every 5 seconds, there's another $1 million. Like $1 million right there, $1 million right there, $1 million right there. Oh my gosh, Robert Downey Jr.'s on the screen, $10 million right there.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so it's just a lot going on.
It is amazing.
And every time you watch it, you notice more battles going on in the background.
Yeah.
because they really pack this, and like normally in a Marvel movie it's like two people fighting, like that's cool. Like even in Civil War it's like Bucky, Iron Man, and Cap fighting in that area. But the final Endgame battle, it's like it shows a fight in the front, and then there's like 3 fights in the background in every scene. Like in the background there's just so much happening, so every time I watch it I see different things happening, and like there's just so much packed in Endgame that like closes off so many different characters, whether or not they did it well. Like I don't agree that they did it well with the Hulk. I think they should have shown how he got to end his storyline, but they didn't. They just kind of skipped over it. And then the Fat Thor thing is debatable because it doesn't complete Thor's story. It kind of like adds another element to it that probably wasn't needed, but at the same time they're continuing his story, so it might make sense later on.
Yeah.
But it closes off so many storylines, even subtly. Like every time you watch it, you're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, that's a reference!" Like when his daughter talks about, "I want cheeseburgers," that's like the first Iron Man reference when he says, "I want cheeseburgers." You know, it's just like little things like that. So I have a lot to say about that. You know.
Yeah, it's one of the most impressive accomplishments, like that they build up to this movie.
And the attention to detail in this movie is insane.
Yeah.
Like they didn't waste a single second.
And there's 3 hours, so that's saying a lot.
3 hours and 1 minute. It's insane. They made it 3 hours and 1 minute so that the whole MCU could be added up to 3,000 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
And that's why it's I Love You 3000.
That is just a proof of the attention to detail.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it just kind of ended up that way. They're like, oh, let's add 1 more minute to do
Yeah,
it.
that's probably true.
But, you know, still. Anyway, last one. It's probably not the highest note to end on. Dinner for Schmucks.
Oh, yes.
Just a great comedy. Once again, I watched it with Zach Burleson, loving it. It was just funny.
Steve Carell.
Another one of those names you
it,
say to yourself and don't know.
No, I think I knew it was Carell. I just messed up. And
Yeah,
then
Steve
Paul Rudd is
Carell,
in it?
Paul Rudd. Yeah. It's just a funny movie. Their chemistry is really good. Steve Carell's... When he plays the dumb characters, I laugh the most. Like Brick from Anchorman, Michael Scott from The Office, or...
I didn't realize he was
Barry.
in Anchorman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Barry from Dinner for Schmucks. I think all of his stupid characters get me laughing the most. He's still a good serious actor, like Welcome to Marwen or other movies like that, or in the new Apple TV series. But I like his comedy roles the best.
Yeah. In The Office, I mean, I haven't watched Dinner for Schmucks, but in The Office, he is one of the best actors because he makes me so uncomfortable. He's
realistic,
so
yeah.
into his character that I'm like, oh my god. It made it hard for me to watch The Office, even though I really love it.
I've seen The Office 10 times all the way through, and that is a low number for the people that I know.
That's crazy.
For the people that I know,
I haven't even made it through once. I just made it to season 6.
I know someone. I'm not
And
gonna
then
say. I'm
they
not gonna say
pull
who
it
it is.
off Netflix.
I'm not gonna say who it is. I know someone who's probably seen it over 60 times.
That's insane. You have to know it front to back at that point.
Mm-hmm. You got to notice like the tiniest details at that point, like just searching. You know.
Yeah.
It's like you dream full episodes.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's,
like every line. And then at that point, you're like actually watching it 70 times, you know?
you can just watch it in your head then. You don't even have to turn it on.
That's kind of true. That's true. You can have focus groups about it and just like go through a whole season.
I've heard about, I don't remember who this is, so sorry if I'm stealing this from somebody, but somebody had watched Shrek so many times they could like visualize Shrek, just watch Shrek in their head. This was when they were a young child.
Somebody wants to...
But you lose that after a certain point, but it's still crazy that they were able to just be like, close their eyes and be like, I'm watching Shrek.
Oh man, that's hilarious. But yeah, I mean that's my top 25 movies. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, it's an interesting list, and it's definitely different than mine, but it also had some similarities.
All the similarities were because of Ben. I didn't introduce Ben to any really good movies until Searching. You'll see.
Until Searching, I will probably like.
Our viewers that are listening right now, he's gonna talk about Searching sometime on the podcast in the future.
I will. Maybe we'll do it for the podcast. Who knows?
And I don't want to overhype it, so don't get too high. But it is really.
I'm excited for it though. All right. Well, with that, it's time to get back in the vault.
All right.
Close it up.
Check for that.